Student Malaysia protest rising of cost of living and inflation. In Malaysia, opposition parties and student groups have taken to the street regularly to voice their frustration over the rising cost of living and inflation. Among their demands, more aids to the people, continue to provision of subsidy and price control for food. According to Communications Minister Anwar Musa, who chairs a multi-agency task force that has been meeting 2 weeks to monitor price, Malaysia already has one of cheapest food and food price in Southeast Asia. More essential items have been put under a price control mechanism, including eggs, chicken and cooking oil. The government should lower the price of goods and cost of living because it will burden the people as well as students. The government need to provide short and long-term solutions. Ending the many students vented their frustration on social media, with some saying they were unable to buy meals on campus. The high in price of food and other items is burden the student.
The problem of macroeconomics that occur is inflation because it reduces student income by reducing purchasing power of money, which is their ability to pay for food and necessity. When the cost of living increases, it also increases the burden on students, especially the student who depends entirely on family income or educational loans or scholarship assistance. So, this situation makes it difficult for them to manage their expenses due to limited expenses. So, they are willing to endure hunger throughout their studies. Mostly, B40 students are the most affected by the inflation or the rising cost of living. The second problem is underemployment. This is because there are some students who only depends on family income. So they are forced to take a part-time job to earn some money for survive throughout their studies and daily needs, because sometimes family income are not enough to support them. So they need to sacrifice some study times to work to overcome this problem.
The main solution to macroeconomic problems include implementation of aggressive expansionary monetary and fiscal policy. Basically, expansionary tools help to augment the supply of money in order to boost economic activities like investment and aggregate demand. Especially, the duo plays a vital role in solving the challenge of unemployment, as investment and the needs for more production create job opportunities. The second is use of contractionary fiscal and monetary tools to maintain inflation at its lowest or healthy levels. The tools contract the supply of money with the aim of controlling inflation and its adverse effect on the economy. Besides, the tools aid in maintaining economic stability by regulating inflationary pressures. The third is enhancing political stability and good governance that is capable of providing subsidies, education, as well as improved infrastructure. Political stability and availability of skilled labor attract investors and also enhance the national output of a country. Subsequently, increased productivity leads to economic growth, which helps to eliminate poverty because of improved living standards.
In conclusion, in economics, inflation is a rise in the general price of prices of goods and services in the end economy over a period of time. Inflation is the result of excess of aggregate demand over the aggregate supply, and the true inflation starts after full employment. The rise in price level before full employment is semi-inflation. Inflation plays a vital role for the development of the economy. The inflation rate must be at moderate level. For developing countries, 3% to 4% rate of inflation could be acceptable, but in developed countries, it must be 1% to 2% only. Central bank of the country plays the vital role in controlling the inflation rate and other related economical activities. When inflation rate is raised highly, it decreases the purchasing power of the people and cost of product would be costlier. However, it not only decreases the purchasing power of the people but also affects the import, export ratio, production activities and employment activities and so on. So, the inflation rate must be controlled proper by the central bank of the particular country.